We've got to do your reading while my hair is looking like this because I look like a Leo today. It's already starting. Here you are, King of Wands, lovely, very nice energy. And how does that make you act on the outside? How does that make you act on the outside? Can we have some comment on how the King of Wands makes Leo and Magnolia, because there's one behind me that's amazing, like the star, nice. And something for the basis of this reading, the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful, and the Tower. Wow, a new start after a bit of a short, sharp shock. Something from the recent past. Great Watch. I'm not going to take all of those because the light's fading and I don't want it to get too ridiculous out here. Something, and then it slows down and it won't talk to me. I was saying in Cancer's reading, I wish I'd learned how to do that rifling cards. I might try. 5 of Pentacles, just because it is quite nice for those who like AMSR. It really does it for me. And a potential outcome, 7 of Swords. I slightly took that one, didn't let it pop, but anyway, it's not the outcome. Let's see. And something coming up in the near future. 2 cards. 6 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. That's very lovely. Nice, decisive, upright energy. Your attitude. King of Cups. Slightly less decisive, but we've got 2 Kings, 2 Aces so far. It's interesting. And your environment. To do my ankle's sort of funny today, so I have to keep moving around. Sorry. 7 of Cups, and your hopes and fears, the Fool, and an outcome from Magnolia and Lion people, Leo people. It's the Knight of Swords. Lovely. Right. So there's lots of action. We've got and 2 new starts. And I think the basis of this is starting something new after something wasn't built on the right foundation. So I'm just going to dive straight in. Here we have the King of Wands as your interior world. Let's get the really magnified glasses. Green shoes, green, I always sort of see what pops out. Green shoes, green little gecko, symbol of protection. His hair's been a bit done like mine. It's like he's been at the crimping irons. So feeling very self-determined, excited, energetic, creative, I would say. And how that makes you on the inside, and how that makes, and sort of quite commanding with the king, and how that makes you act on the outside is as the star. You feel healed, but this energy is good for you. It's very healing. Maybe there's been a period of, well, we know there's been the Tower, so there might have been some stagnation as well. It feels like it's on the move. The water's moving. She can pour it from her flagons. You've got the little pink bird in the background that's a bird of Thoth. He's going to give lots of beautiful inspiration. The tree is very lit up. The bird is less pink in this deck, but the tree is very, very alive with spring growth. And Venus's stars. And it's a card of healing and bright hope. So there's a lot of optimism in your energy field, Magnolia and Lion, Leo people. And I'm calling you Lion because of my hair. I feel like I've got a mane. In the basis of the reading, the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles. So there has been a short, sharp shock. And then you've been quite quickly, you've sort of gathered yourself and you've started physically again. You know, if this is a financial crisis, you've started working out how to deal with it. There's been an offer from the universe. If it's health, you've got back onto firmer foundations. But it's quite a sort of interesting mix, isn't it? Sort of something very optimistic that you need to tend to, you need to grow into something really beautiful, but also something that had to come down because it wasn't correct. I'm seeing the crown at the top and how these are very sort of snow-capped. Like, why would you possibly try and build a tower there? It's so uncomfortable. But then again, interestingly, through the gate, you can see those sort of snow-capped mountains, can't you? Or the similar type of mountain. We don't know if they're snow-capped, but they're the same sort of colour. So that's interesting, isn't it? I hope you're not just going to go back and try and do exactly the same thing again, but maybe what you're going to do is go back and try and build in a better part of the mountain. It might be that you were essentially doing something you really loved. You just put this bit on this bit's foundations need to be firmed up a bit, because it's interesting that I'm seeing how similar those are. So you might be going back and rebuilding, that's it, with the Ace of Pentacles, something, because you still fundamentally believe in the project, it just wasn't very secure. In the recent past, yeah, you would be feeling a bit like the Five of Pentacles if this had happened. You know, it means being left out of your community, not having enough money, feeling all at odds. His bandages are different colours. She's barefoot. Some say she's blind and he can lead her, although I don't see any evidence of that. And she's not lame and therefore can help him. You know, they can cooperate. That's probably one of their ways out, or one of their ways to find their way into this church or cathedral, unless they're running from it. Wow. Lots of fast cars. What does that mean? Lots of fast activity. Anyway, in the Seven of Swords as your potential outcome, it shows that you need to be careful. If you are indeed rebuilding a project, please make sure you don't build it on the same foundations again. It's sort of saying, yes, but remember what happened last time. Make sure you do this considerably differently. Look at all the dots, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. But also, is there anyone around you that's destabilising this project? Because this guy, you give your power away to him, or he steals something. I always love these jaunty little tents. I know they're supposed to be battle tents, but I organise events in my other world, and so I love them. I'm like, God, I'd love to get hold of some tents that look like that. And right under his legs there's some little green tents in the background there. So something about the tents, the structure, again, maybe what your project involves a sort of impermanent exhibition, or something that comes up and down, or it's about weddings, or it's about people coming together for temporary amounts of time, like a festival or a literary festival, or meeting in session over something. So just be careful around those temporary sort of structures, because this is only a potential outcome, because we don't see you yet adjusting your well, we do, but it feels a bit like you're just, yeah, anyway, let's see what the rest of the cards say. In the near future, we have another ace, the Ace of Swords. I like this Ace of Swords in this reading a lot, because it means clear sight. It's very clear, decisive thinking, and this might be your key to not building on the wrong foundations again. Listen to the seagulls. This is clear sight. It stops you being negative, but it also would help you build something really magnificent, and you wouldn't make the same mistakes because it's so intelligent. So it's a brand new idea maybe about how to do this next bit, whether it's something that you're reinventing or something completely new, and it shows it being a success. You've got a new idea for the success of this project. Really fantastic. See if there's anything that comes up from this. Just the sort of slightly sly look on the horse's face. He's keeping an eye on you if you're on the horse. And there's a hidden figure just behind him. Do you see the hat? So he's saying, don't forget that Seven of Swords. You know, like, let's be mindful, let's use our brain in the right way. That your animal instincts, that would be it, are leading you into that kind of wisdom. Yeah, whatever takes you forward instinctively is on point. In your environment, in your attitude, the King of Cups, he's a king and he's very, very wise, but he probably feels quite all over the place and emotional because you've had quite a wild ride. And so you're not going into denial about that. You are very aware of what's been happening. I can see the ring on his finger that holds the cup. I can see the ship behind him, the red one. Coming in, his ship's coming in, and he looks quite commanding and not overwhelmed today at all. And he's got a fish around his neck. He's got imagination, because I always associate the imagination with the Page of Cups. You know, there's a fish in a cup, And so he's got it now. He's in command of it. It's like he's sort of can mould it into something quite useful. To be honest, this King of Cups is looking pretty on it today. I can see the tail of the fish flipping back round, sort of looking at all aspects of a situation. Yeah, he's got the fish. He's not going to become hypnotized by it. He's got it. That's a very good sign. And in your environment, there's still lots of details that need to be worked out with the Seven of Cups. This could just be lots of different imaginative ways of going about this new project. Lots of different options. Shall we build like this? Shall we invite this person? Shall we, whatever the project is, there's sort of various different aspects. So there are in your environment lots of details that still need to be pulled into focus for you, and it's okay. And normally we say, grab them before they go off. There might be a little bit of an element of that there's a time factor, but I don't really see that. I think it's just lots of imaginative ideas up in the sky for you at the moment. And let's see if anything's popping out. The clouds. They're held by the clouds. The one that really pops out is this sheet in the middle, with the red around it. Who had red around them? Someone had red around them. Maybe it was in the last reading. Yeah, it's a sort of pinky red, isn't it? And the snake's going down towards it. The snake's rather interested in it. And even the figure next door could be looking at it. So what's underneath that? What could you be still yet to be revealed to you through sort of spirituality, through your instinct, through there's some element that everyone's looking to that you need to sort of pull the sheet off. Like when you see all those furnitures with sheets in a house that's been shut down. What is it that's covered? There's something you need to uncover still, but that's fine. We know you're restarting a project. In your hopes and fears, you just really want this amazing new start, like those two aces. You want to just be able to leap in, be enthusiastic, optimistic again, not feel beleaguered by all the past problems, and be able to sort of maintain that kind of enthusiasm after the tower moment. Good on you. You might also be a bit frightened of that enthusiasm because it worked out a bit badly last time round. The red passion in his sleeves, these tiny little mountains down there, sort of big things that you need to scale and that might be difficult, but also little things. Look at the little details. Look at the little details. I don't normally see those. But, it's a lovely fresh start that you're wanting, but just think about those little details. Uncover that sheet. Don't get caught by the Seven of Swords, this kind of thing. And right at the end, where it's all going, the Knight of Swords, which shows you rushing in to have another go. 70% likely to win with this card. Charging in, very windy, his toes are pointed, there's lots of Hermes wings there's wings on his sort of around his knees. Flexibility, sort of messages in your flexibility. And the birds, little blue birds on his cape. They all look ready and serious, like little soldiers ready to go. So your intuition, the messages, you've taken them all, you're wearing them all, you've taken heed of them, you're taking them seriously, and you're going in for another go. Amazing. Right. Let's pull some clarifiers. Let's go for the tarot, the Enchanted Forest Tarot first. There's some people looking up at me. I think it might be an estate agent. They're not looking at my house. And what have we got here? Commenting on it. Lovely. The Eight of Spells. This is messages coming to you. It's very fast energy. So there might be some communication about this project that's coming up that could really help clarify a few of those details. So 8 of Spells. News and incoming messages, swiftness, aiming towards a goal. Well, we know you're doing that, and we've got the swiftness of the Knight of Swords as well. So Parliament of Owls incoming, zooming is so annoying. they're really shouting and looking up at me. I'm a bit like, listen, I'm on my own terrace, back off. A parliament of owls incoming, zooming through the forest with sureness of purpose. They carry messages of magical portent. Some travel at the bidding of the enchanter himself, but anyone can ask an owl to carry a message. The owl will decide if he wants to or not. If you've been sent an owl before and didn't heed its message, you may be left to your own devices from then on. It's saying listen to these important messages, otherwise you won't be communicated to from that magical space again. Owls do not carry trivial missives. Crows are happy to do that. So when you see an owl headed your way, straighten up and prepare to receive it with respect. The appearance of owls in a reading signifies news on its way. It can also mean that energy is increasing for any endeavour to which you apply your full will and intention. Things are speeding up and moving towards a positive conclusion or reward. Watch the skies. That's so beautiful. So I think that's a very good omen for this new project. Things are going to really speed up. Now let's get you what do we call her? Shining Tribe Tarot. We're just going to be in time for it to get really dark. Oh, so I mean, as in, I'm going to finish this before it gets really dark, which is great. There we go. Just one. Lovely. What have we got? The birds. I think this is very positive. Another bird. Another incredible, powerful bird. Messages coming to you. Fast. And 6 of birds. So we had... Right, here we go. The power of dreams, especially sacred or psychic dreams, opening doors to the unknown, taking special steps to seek healing or change, trust in intuitive understanding. So it's saying there's a lot of intuitive messages coming to you at the moment. You must trust those. And I remember looking at this because it's all really basically talking about the figures. How many birds do we see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, obviously, because it's the 6. So you've got the 8 owls and the 6 birds here. And it talks about temples in Malta, which they think might have been for women priestesses to dream and get messages through dreams. So take note of your dreams as well. And the pillars behind the woman, like doorways to other worlds. And the fierce birds descend, a bit like the owls. Take them seriously. So yeah, I think it just says you're being given some very serious messages. There's not much more in that card that's going to be relevant. It talks all about the architecture and the history there, but I want us to move on. So lots of messages, lots of fast messages, a kind of clarity on this project. So let's get you a Divine Muses card. I'm not looking at anyone too hard because you know that thing of when people know that you're staring at them and then they'll look up. I don't want them bothering me. Right. But lots of people walking past. Here we've got Solar Feminine. Wow, she's wonderful. Oh, my new... Whoever this woman is might be a new neighbour and she's very loud. I'm quite loud, so it's fine, but I can hear her very clearly. Solar Feminine. Where is she? Solar Feminine, come on. There we go, 149. It feels very good luck. I really like this reading for you. Brave, brilliant, compassionate leadership. The Solar Feminine is the inverse of the Lunar Masculine. In the Lunar Masculine card, we see a dominant, resonant, patriarchal energy that's shaped by nurturing and creative forces. In the Solar Feminine, we have an intuitive, loving, and maternal force that's shaped by courage and action. Essentially, these two archetypes are a combination of the yin and yang, or feminine. I feel like telling them to shut up. Listen to you. Oh my goodness. I'm really loud. It's probably me seeing myself in the mirror by the time I get to that age. Right, sorry. It's just putting me off. So in the Solar Feminine, we have an intuitive... I wonder whether that's got anything to do with your reading. Messages being shouted at you. Things that you're not wanting to hear. Irritations in this new project, who knows. In the Solar Feminine, we have an intuitive, loving, maternal force that's shaped by courage and action. Essentially, these two archetypes are a combination of yin and yang, or feminine and masculine energies, and that are described in the East. This duality is reflected in the moon and the sun, night and day, passive and active, dark and light, cold and hot, etc. It's a unique blending of these. Being empathic and brave may be essential right now. Let your thoughts and actions be strong yet compassionate. Don't be afraid to express the truth. For women, the throat chakra can become blocked because of old patterns with patriarchy. Whatever your gender, this oracle affirms your strength of power that comes from a place of warmth and wisdom. You're in a position to guide, organise and lead something. Maybe it's this sort of, I imagine this festival or all these tents or something. There's something that you probably are the leader of. And you're getting your voice back. If you speak with truth and integrity, people will look up to you and emulate your example. We need you to be caring and ethical leaders. We need more caring and ethical leaders. Take this time to eliminate what's no longer working for you and consolidate all of your resources and talents. Use your intellect and reasoning and critical thinking skills. So this is very much what we were saying before. Intellect, reasoning, critical thinking skills. Combine your knowledge with compassion and understanding and listening for those intuitive hits, and being emotionally wise like the King of Cups and all those messages coming through those birds. It's a real melding of skills here. Don't be afraid to delegate. Step into a new position like we know you're doing and claim it with unabashed certainty of who you are. Be fearless and brilliant. Shine your light. Your unique genius is special. After all, no one else can be you. I love it. And this is an actress, Constance Collier, in a costume for a play, Antony and Cleopatra, that was put on in 1906. So the artist here has adapted old pieces of art that she's found. And it's interesting, it says, in her time, Cleopatra people thought she was a reincarnated Isis, a claim that the queen herself may have helped along by coining the title Near Isis, meaning new. So then she's added Hathor's horns and the horns and discs of the crown of the ancient Egyptian cow goddess Hathor, which Isis also wears. The horns of this mother goddess symbolise the cow, nurturing feminine energy, but the solar disc shows the more masculine ruling aspect. The Ankh is essentially a key, a gateway to another world, like that dream world, like all those messages. It's an ancient and powerful symbol for the sun, fertility and light. This is a really positive blessing. Let's have a few tiny, teeny, tiny, what do you call them? I'm loving this hair. My sister has amazing curly hair. Right, so yeah, we know there's been an ending. Teeny tiny Rider Tarot. Yeah, let go of the old iteration of this project. And what else do you want us to look at in this? Make the new one fair. This is what will make it built on the right foundations. Reciprocity. Make sure everyone's fairly paid. There's a balance. There's equality. Maybe it's because it's sunny. Everyone's feeling quite shouty tonight. Shouting must be something to do with it. Maybe you'll know. Make it fair. Make it a fairly paid for you and all involved. Make it equal, balanced. This new project, that will keep it safe. Is there any other part of the reading or comment that you'd like to make on this rebirth? Yeah, don't keep looking back to the past, they're saying. Do not keep harping on about what's not worked. With that Five of Cups, what would you like them to do instead? Yeah, King of Cups, brilliant. Wed your King of Cups, who we've got in your attitude. So stiffen him up a bit. So rather than, because the King of Cups could be someone who is disappointed and gets stuck in disappointment over what's already ended. Okay, he has got a little bit of an aspect of that. So the cards, the final comment from the cards is this: if you need any further encouragement, is we know this is your attitude. And if he needs a bit of firming up, employ a bit of Queen of Wands. She's strong, she's feisty, she's independent, she uses her intuition. Look at that cat, and we know you've got all this intuitive help coming. And she would be, groundbreaking, different. Look at her legs apart. She's not at all conventional, but she's got a real force because she's one of the wands. That's what you're being asked to add to your King of Cups, to just give you the oomph so you don't get too disappointed about what didn't work. See you again, Leo. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by.